Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. I'm your host today. My name is Trent. I'm here with my co-host Betsy.
Me!
Hey Betsy. So today we are going to cover yet another Paul Verhoeven joint.
Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah. And somehow we have gone 128 episodes and not covered an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Not one.
No.
So, Betsy, we are going to remedy that by watching the 1990, not even, you think of this as an 80s movie. It is not. 1990 movie, Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yes. So, Betsy, I haven't seen this movie, and neither have you.
I have not seen this movie.
So
32 years of my life have gone by. I have not experienced this.
And I don't really know much about it, other than it's about, like, memories, and it's a sci-fi, futuristic kind of a thing.
I mean, a title like Total Recall, yeah, that makes sense. It's memories. And it's Paul Verhoeven, which we said, and we've covered him now a few times in this podcast.
Yep, we watched Showgirls during our Smut Fest.
Uh-huh.
We watched RoboCop.
We did do that.
And we also watched his best movie, by far, out of all of them, is Basic Instinct.
And it won't be the last time either. Apparently, this man has made a lot of stuff.
He was prolific.
So yeah, Total Recall. I suspect it'll be weird.
Yeah.
There's like a couple of scenes I've seen, like clips of this movie.
Right.
Where there's like weird, what do you
it's
call it?
It's almost like a claymation kind of a thing.
Claymation. Yeah, weird special effects things kind of a la RoboCop.
Yeah.
So I expect there to be that. I expect it to be sort of funny, but sort of disturbing. Is there or is there not a chick with 3 boobs?
Yes, I think this is that movie.
Because I just know that line from Beavis and Butthead. Check it out, Beavis. This chick's got 3 boobs.
I think so. It might have been something else from the 80s. I don't know.
I think it's this, though. I want to say there is a woman with 3 boobs.
Sure. Why not?
But other than that, I think Sharon Stone is in this one too, because we talked about that when we did Basic Instinct.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Yep, so I know it's her and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's about it.
Yeah, I can't really think of too many other people in the movie.
I know they remade this movie, but I'm sure it's going to be in a very different spirit than this one.
I'm sure. I mean, maybe they just took the idea of it and redid it. They also remade the original RoboCop recently.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Was it, who did the remake? Was it Colin Farrell of Total Recall?
Yeah, it's Colin Farrell in that one. And then I think RoboCop, I think it's the guy from House of Cards. The senator dude that ran for president.
You mean the governor that ran for president? He
Something like that.
He was the governor of New York. Okay, no, I didn't know that. He had a moment.
I think that's who that is anyway.
He was having a moment there. Yeah. After House of Cards was over, he was cast in a bunch of Netflix movies.
He was.
I can't remember his name. Generic,
tall, white
generic,
dude,
handsome man.
Number 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about Total Recall. Again, we've been wanting to do a Schwarzenegger movie for a while. We've also been trying to figure out what more like 80s action movies that we could do. Clearly, this is not one of them, but yeah, we'll see.
There will be many more to come. I am sure we can scrounge some up.
And like we have done like studies about, okay, how many Schwarzenegger movies have we actually seen?
Just in general.
How many Stallone movies have we seen? And it's not a lot.
It really isn't. We could name many.
Sure.
We are definitely aware of
but it's
their
like
film
one
careers.
hand we're counting them.
For what we've actually watched, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a fountain.
There's
of
a big
stuff.
blind spot when it comes to 80s action movies.
We've talked about it before,
we
man.
We are really trying to cover that up, and this is part of it.
Well, and I think this is gonna be more, I don't know if it's an action movie or if it's more like sci-fi, comedy, action, like
I don't
future.
know. By 1990, Schwarzenegger had basically done, I don't know, at least half a dozen movies to maybe 10 movies of just the generic beefcake action movie star.
Right.
Where he's maybe branching out into more unique things.
Had Terminator come out by this point?
Terminator came out in 84.
The first one did?
Yes.
When did the second one come out?
90 or 91?
Yeah, because I think this predates Terminator 2.
I think so.
But I thought Terminator came out around the same time as this, like 89.
Nope.
Oh,
84,
whatever.
it was the original Terminator.
I never thought about the fact there's such a gap between the two.
Yeah, very much so. They had to get the technology up to snuff so that they could do the T-1000.
To do what they wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah. So the long and short of it being that Schwarzenegger wasn't a nobody when they made this movie.
Yeah. And I think maybe he was looking to branch out a little bit rather than maybe get his acting chops out there more and do something else. I mean, he did Kindergarten Cop by this point.
Yep.
So I think this is maybe in that vein. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be fully, like, goofy comedy, but I think there's going to be, like, weird...
It's gonna
awkward,
be weird.
funny moments.
It's gonna be weird. So.
Yeah.
All right, Betsy, let's go and watch Total Recall from 1990. We will be right back. We are back. So, Betsy, that was another Paul Verhoeven joint.
We did do that.
What did you think of that one?
I was having a delightful time. I don't know if I was having as much fun as other ones that we've watched.
Yeah.
There were moments that were really funny, but the whole overall experience, I was like, this is terrible and I love it.
This was a stupid movie, and I had a great time.
You know, it's that thing where watching it now, it looks absurd, but I have to keep reminding myself that in 1990, this was like fucking top of the line. This movie cost millions upon millions of dollars to make, and it looks like shit is made of cardboard.
You know, the piece of concrete that he's like throwing somebody into bends when you throw somebody into it.
Yep, and it had that RoboCop flair with weird bulging eyes and animatronics.
There's so much RoboCop in this. It's ridiculous.
This also got a special award for visual effects and was nominated for 2 Oscars.
Yeah, I can see why. So, hell, I'm impressed at the very least with Arnold's commitment to the bit.
Right. It's an interesting story, and they mess with the audience and they mess with your head and they leave you questioning what the hell it is you're watching. And I think it's clever. I was not expecting it to go this way. This is not the movie I thought it was going to be.
I guess.
I also didn't know this was based on a Phillip K Dick short story.
Not at all. But you know what? A lot of weird shit is.
It is. There's so much that he wrote that I don't even think people realize how prolific he was.
And it's all short stories.
Yeah.
Most of the movies that were made from his stuff is all based on his own short stories. Like, I mean, I can only think of one off the top of my head that I know I've seen that is very weird. It's A Scanner Darkly.
That is. Blade Runner is.
I haven't seen Blade Runner.
And I think I Am Legend is a Phillip K Dick story, too.
Oh shit, okay.
Maybe. It's one of those things. Or I, Robot. One of those movies, I think, is Phillip K Dick. But there's also, like, a ton more that I'm forgetting.
Yes.
But I certainly didn't know this was one.
Absolutely not. And just the fact that they're able to take these little stories and extrapolate so much from it, and for this director to put a whole lot of his own shit on it. That's the thing. It's basically just a concept.
Yeah.
Is what you're pulling out of his short stories and extrapolating that into an entire movie or an entire novel sometimes.
Right, and I don't think that he necessarily would have designed this movie.
No, and again, it is just the concept that they're pulling out here.
Yep, it's as simple as, what if you could plant memories?
Yeah, again, it's all based on.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was cheesy and stupid, and in moments predictable, but other moments I was actually like, well, wait, are we doing like a double layer thing here?
Is this some Inception shit here, or
like
what's
the Matrix?
Going on?
Like, I thought about the Matrix because it's literally like, take this pill and you'll wake up.
Well, and it's in that same scene I was talking about Inception. You're actually dreaming. This is something implanted to.
Yep.
I'm not actually here. You're not actually here. This is just a dream.
But that's the thing. This would have been 10, 15 years before both of those movies came out.
Yeah.
Because those filmmakers, I am sure, in a weird little way, were inspired by this movie.
There's a lot of shit that got inspired by this movie, I think. Like, even like jokes that I've seen in other things, like the goddamn X-ray wall.
Yep.
That I've seen in so many different things, including The Simpsons, multiple times.
Of course, The Simpsons. Well, literally, they have a character that is an Arnold Schwarzenegger character on The Simpsons.
Yes.
And they have an entire movie. Somebody pieced that together. Do you know this?
I am aware, yes.
I can't remember.
The McBain movie exists.
Yes.
Based on the little clips that they show out of sequence. Somebody put those clips in sequence to make a full movie.
Yeah, so the Arnold-inspired character
McBain
has his own movie within the Simpsons universe.
So, and like the screen of like the security guards looking at the skeletons, that was actually pretty well done.
That was cool. And then when he bursts
through it, oh my god,
it makes it
cool.
Like 3D all of a sudden.
It's so cool.
That was cool. And there's just like little moments throughout the whole thing because it's in the future, but it's like present day.
And we have no idea how, like,
they don't
where
give it a
in the
year.
future this is.
No, there's no year. And frankly, when the movie begins, you aren't even aware it's the future until they start playing with like technology and saying like, attacks again on Mars today.
Yeah.
Extremists blowing shit up because we're mining Mars.
Yeah, and like I always look at sci-fi movies and look at the technology and base that on, okay, when was this written? When was this made? And what year are they trying to portray?
Right, and because they don't give it a definition, they can kind of make it whatever they want. This could be this year.
Yeah, they futz with it to a point where it's technology that existed back in 1990, based on what Paul Verhoeven and the other writers knew about. Phillip K. Dick, I'm sure, had some influence in that because he probably described some things in that short story.
Maybe.
But at the same time, a lot of the tech that is shown here, I'm sure isn't like written out, but it's very much a Paul Verhoeven thing because there's tech in this movie that he also had in RoboCop.
Like the computer chat screens.
The GPS stuff.
The GPS stuff.
That was very much like a brand new thing.
The computer animation.
Yes.
That they use for that.
The video phones. Mm-hmm. That was really cool.
All the weird, like, claymation, like, heads exploding.
Well, and that's not technology. I'm talking tech
okay,
here.
Well, I'm just saying overall, you can tell this is a Paul Verhoeven movie.
Sure. But, like, as far as other tech, like, when they're having breakfast and the wall is a bunch of TVs.
Yep.
Now, these are 4:3 aspect ratio TVs all built into a wall. It's a blue screen, of course.
Right.
But it's that kind of mentality. You don't think you would ever have a widescreen television back in 1990.
No, but the best screen you could get was a massive tube TV.
A massive big screen, a 4:3 big thing. And, of course, the epitome of technology would be, it's just built into your wall. That shit exists now. And same thing with being built in. The taxi on Mars, the taxi cab that keeps running them around, they have a little heads-up display on the windshield for the driver to see, okay, this is how fast you're going. That exists today.
But they also have self-driving cars because they have a little
Yep.
robot cabbie.
Yeah. So that all exists to this day. It's really strange how accurate some of these writers have been.
But completely inaccurate in other ways, where they have video chat, but then there's still a dude on a payphone. Nobody has a cell phone.
No, there are no cell phones.
There's no cellular devices. There's no mobile devices. They only use the phone with a screen that is planted and mounted in their home.
And it's plugged in.
Yeah.
It is a hardwired thing that will not be mobile.
No, and they didn't have any way to communicate with each other when they were on the move.
Yeah.
But yeah, we start the movie with a dream sequence where he is on Mars and he like smashes his helmet open and his face explodes.
Right, and
right off the bat.
Right off the bat, and of course he wakes up and it was just a dream.
It was just a dream.
And of course we kind of figure it's Mars because, hey, everything is red. They've got spacesuits on and blah, blah, blah.
And there's a woman there and they're in love and they're getting like cuddly.
Oh yeah, they're going to hold hands, but then they're going around and he slips and falls and his face shield cracks and he explodes.
Very graphically, there's a lot of...
Yeah, it's the shit that I remember from the like 80s kids movies.
Oh yeah.
And similar things. I'm thinking of like when we watched Beetlejuice and there was a bunch of that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
And Pee-wee Herman, like in the Pee-wee's Big Adventure movie.
Yep. That entire style of effects was very prevalent in the late 80s and 90s.
Absolutely. Mid to late, before they had computer animation.
Sure.
Claymation, stop motion animation.
Yep.
That was the next best thing you could put together.
Put together is what they were able to do with special effects.
Yes. And they use it a lot in this movie.
They use it a lot, and they also did a very, very good job with their miniatures.
Yes.
The all of Mars is a miniature. When you're outside, like there's the tram that he's on about midway through the movie. That's a miniature, and the tram is, and all the landscapes and the mountains and all the buildings.
Or it's like the Star Wars thing where it's a big matte painting or something on a glass.
Sure, it's a mat of both, and that was really good for 1990. They really went for it.
Some of it looks so cheesy now, and I'm trying really hard to remind myself that this was 1990.
Well,
and in 1990 we all would have been amazed by this.
Yes, and in 1990, of course, you're going to try to put your actors in kind of in the foreground of them being outside on Mars. Obviously, you can't do something like that and actually depict it on screen without them being on a blue screen and having to composite all that together.
Right.
So it's going to look a little funky.
But he's not
by today's standards.
He's not on Mars. It's all a dream.
Right.
And he wakes up to his sexy wife, Sharon Stone, which I had it out of order because I forgot this came out 2 years before Basic Instinct.
Yes.
So she was an unknown actress when she made this. She's just a supporting character.
Yeah.
And they have, sexy Arnold butt time. Like his butt was out.
A little bit.
You saw a little crack.
A little crack. It's okay. It's okay. You saw all of his butt in Terminator.
This is true. He's already let it all out by this point in his career. Why not? He's a very muscular man. He is proud of his body. He is a body builder.
It's true.
And they just sort of jump right into it. He's got this humdrum life, and he's got his wife.
He's a construction worker.
Plays with a jackhammer all day.
Yep,
no hearing protection.
I didn't notice that.
He started screaming at his friend. And he was not wearing any earbuds or headphones or nothing.
I never noticed that, but yeah, you're right.
But he has this boring life, and he wants to go to Mars, and his wife's like, why would you want to go to Mars? I hate that place.
And like he's got the TVs on, he's got the news on, he hears about what's happening in this universe, I guess, in the galaxy, at least in the solar system. There's shit going on Mars. There's terrorism on Mars.
Extremists blowing things up, trying to stop the mining.
Yep. And there's mining going on, like you said. They're mining, I think they call it turbinium, something like that.
Something like that.
some kind of mineral that you can only get on Mars. They don't say what the hell it is, other than
or what it's for,
or what it's for, other than it is valuable to humans, I guess.
Yep, and people live up there, and there's tourists, and people go there on vacation and shit. Like, there's a Hilton.
Yeah, they have a Hilton. They have also, so we'll get into the brands a little bit later, but in this scene we're talking about, at the very end, I don't know if you noticed the entire thing, but he switched it over to ESPN because they had ESPN in the 80s.
In the kitchen he was watching ESPN?
Yeah.
Well, she turned on the channel. She changed the channel to make him watch something that wasn't the news.
Sure. And they said it was Game 5 of the World Series played in Tokyo.
Yeah, the World Series.
Yes.
Trent.
Now it finally...
We have progressed outside of America, and frankly, Tokyo makes sense.
Hey, even now there is a Canadian baseball team in the MLB.
Fair enough.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Fair enough. And it is, frankly, if it would be anywhere, it would be Japan, because baseball is very big over
baseball,
there.
Yes. Even back in 1990.
Even back in 1990. But yeah, he's living his humdrum life, and he goes to work, and on his commute to work, he sees a commercial for a company called Recall that says, you don't have to go on a vacation. We'll just plant a vacation into your memories. So it'll be just like you actually went for 2 weeks to Mars.
Yeah, and they're introducing this concept that you can just have your memory imprinted with whatever you want or what other people want. Mm-hmm. So he gets the idea. Does he actually go back to his wife? Or does he just go and do it after work?
He just goes and does it. He talks to his buddy at work who says, oh, I knew a guy who got lobotomized. Don't do it. But he does it anyway because he keeps dreaming about this woman and has it in his head he needs to go to Mars. Yeah.
I guess, he goes to Recall and meets with the very pushy sales dude and is like, okay, well, you want to go to Mars? You don't want to go to Mars. How about you go to Saturn? That'll be much better.
Go anywhere but Mars. But no, he's dead set. We're going to Mars.
Yeah, so they have this entire menu of, okay, you can be on Mars. You can be there for 2 weeks or however long you want. Longer would cost more money, of course, just like a real vacation. You can choose who you go there with. You can choose a different identity while you are there.
You can have an upgrade of the ego trip, which that is a great play on words. That is just bravo, authors.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And you can pick your companion. You can choose, what kind of a woman do you want? The first they ask you, what is your sexual orientation?
Yep.
Which, hey, for 1990, for even acknowledging that is progressive, I guess.
Yeah, give me your preference, and then we push some buttons, and
then
describe this person.
Well, and it's immediate. Okay, what kind of hair do you like on them? Mm-hmm. And then what kind of a body type would you like? And what kind of a personality? And the personality thing is, I think, the most interesting to me because they had 3 different options. One of them is demure, and another one is more I can't remember the rest of them, but one of them was sleazy, oh yeah, she's just gonna want to fuck you all the entire time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and he initially says, yeah, I want the sleazy one, but actually no, I want the demure one.
And meanwhile, he's being asked these questions while he's already been doped up.
Yeah, he got shot up with a tranquilizer, let's say.
Well, and this is the first moment where you kind of have to start even questioning what is actually going on to some extent, because he's goofy and looking at this screen. The woman says, it's 41A, pick this woman.
Yeah.
And it's the woman he's been dreaming about.
From his dream, yeah.
So if she's real, he's hallucinating it. Mm-hmm. If she's not real, this is all made up. So it's one of those things where it's
or they're just based on real humans that they know about.
Maybe,
on Mars, I don't know.
That's awfully specific. So
it is awfully.
I think you have to remember he's doped up too.
You have to get past that, yeah.
Well, you do, but you don't, because it's that Inception shit where it's like, did this happen? Is this real?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because,
it-
of course, it immediately goes wrong, and they
Yes.
say, well, we had him hooked up, and we were going to do this, and now he's, like, screaming about the mission,
You're screwing up my mission. You blew my cover. Because he chose, I want to be a secret agent.
Yeah! He's going to be a secret agent on his vacation.
Yeah.
But the doctor who's performing the procedure says that's not possible because I never implanted him. The memories haven't been uploaded yet.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, so he is an agent, but somebody's already messed with his brain, so we need to reset him back to where he was.
Which is, I mean, they're not going to get to this until much later, but this is why he keeps dreaming about Mars, because he was actually on Mars, but his memory was erased.
Right, but he dreams about things that didn't really happen, so that's why it's like, wait, what's real here?
Well, it's dreaming about people and places that he was with and at.
Fair enough. Context, I guess. He has the details.
Yep.
But yeah, he freaks out, and they just kind of patch him up and send him on his way and pretend the whole thing never even
I'm going to
happened.
refund his money. You go ahead and put him into a cab, and we're going to pretend this never happened.
Yep, he was never here.
Yep.
I don't know. But he goes and finds his friend who says, oh, you went, and I told you not to go, but you did go. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't go there. What? Because he's, stupid, and he had his memory wiped again.
Right.
But once his friend pulls a gun on him,
And a bunch of other dudes
some other goons
accosts him and kidnaps him, basically.
Yep.
Which is where he gets... Everything in this world is very concrete. The city, whatever city this is everything is just made of concrete.
It's cold and futuristic.
It's very cold and futuristic. But this is where they have the big fight, where the concrete wall is just kind of floating back and forth.
And you have to, of course, ask the question, because suddenly what comes over him?
Yeah.
He kicks ass and he kills 4 guys.
Right. And of course, you would think that, I hate when they cast a guy like this. And this goes along with a lot of other big beefcake guys like The Rock.
Okay.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Where they're cast as something, and there's no way you would be this fucking big if you were just this person.
You were just a guy.
Right.
You're just a
You're
dad
just a
and
dude.
Jingle All the Way.
I know. All of this stuff doesn't make any sense. But if you are a construction worker, you have to be strong.
Well, they did give him some context in that he has a very big jackhammer.
Yes.
So that would make your arms incredibly large.
Yes. So at least you're going to give them the context. Oh, he's a construction worker, so that makes sense that he's strong.
Except he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he's stupid strong.
Yes. Anyway, so he beats up the guys and he goes back to his apartment with his wife, who is doing a holographic workout.
Tennis.
It's not even a workout. It's more like, hey, let's just look at your form.
Yep.
And it gives you indications if you're doing it right or not. Again, It's very futuristic. That shit was very prevalent in video games.
It's basically the Wii.
It's the Wii and the Kinect that has the cameras on you watching you.
It knows.
There's no hologram there, but it actually has sensors in it to know if you're doing it right or not.
Exactly.
Again, 20 years in advance. What the fuck?
20 plus, really, for some of those
Some of that stuff, yeah. But yeah, he interrupts her workout session. He says, he turns off all the lights saying, so somebody's trying to kill me and blah, blah, blah. And she's kind of nonplussed by it. She's gaslighting him, saying, no, that never happened. And he shows her his hands and is like, this isn't fake, is it? This
Blood.
Full of blood.
But we quickly discover that she is not what she appears. She was assigned to him, and so she starts shooting at him and knifing him. But then they become buddy-buddy because she's already called the cops, or her people, or
She
whatever
called the
group.
doctor Betsy.
Whatever group it is she's working for.
Yeah.
And she spills the beans I never met you until 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
And you were the best assignment I ever had. You wanna, for old time's sake, you could tie me up if you think I'm a threat.
Right, and this whole casual thing between them after he gets the upper hand is very strange.
I get it. Like, again, they kind of play it off with a line of dialogue because she glances at the screen. She's basically buying time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very like, she went from slashing him open with a knife to, you can tie me if you want to. Hee hee.
She's good at her job.
She is. Until she gets punched in the face. And he escapes.
Yeah, he calls her, oh, clever girl, and punches her and gets the hell out of there.
That's right.
And of course, the person that she calls is Michael Ironside.
Who's that, Trent?
We just talked about this dude from Top Gun.
It's true, and I did not know he was in this. This was just coincidence. Because I saw his name on the screen, and I only remembered it because we just talked about it.
And eventually we will get to watch yet another Paul Verhoeven movie. He's also like the main guy in Starship Troopers.
Of course he is. I'm noticing a theme here, a trend about him reusing actors.
He likes to reuse his actors, for sure.
This is one of those situations, like I think I've maybe talked about this before, where people make a movie with somebody as a supporting character, and then they end up doing a bigger movie later.
Yeah.
So this movie clearly opened the way for Sharon Stone to get Basic Instinct.
Sure.
You know, he liked her, he worked with her, he thought she was really talented, and she'd be perfect for that role. And that's just like 2 years later.
Yeah, and that's just how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he escapes, he goes to this hotel somewhere, and someone immediately calls him after he gets there.
Obviously.
And it's a dude, and I have kind of a problem with this. It's a dude who proclaims that he was his partner when he was working for the Mars Corporation, but we never see this guy again. Like, he seems like a pretty important character that they might want to introduce later. Whether he's a duplicitous guy or not, I think it would be important for him to actually reveal himself as this unscrupulous character.
Well, and they sort of say it later.
They
Again, it's
say
just
it,
sort
but
of
they
like
don't show him.
There's like throwaway dialogue, like,
yeah,
oh, that guy, he was with me. Like, that's all you get.
That's all we get, and I don't like that. Like, you're going to introduce a character who seems to be helping him out a lot, but it's not actually a thing.
Right. And of course, it's all a ruse because he's been tracked. And so the guy's like, oh, you've been bugged. They've bugged you. But if you listen to exactly what I say and do what I tell you, you'll get away. So get a wet towel and wrap it around your head.
Yeah, because it's going to help interfere with the bug that's in your head that they're tracking. And I'm going to leave this case down here by the payphone. Look at me as I'm talking to you. And by the way, I hate when they do this in movies where these two actors are clearly not talking at each other. It is a recording. You pause to let your other actor speak. You say your next line. You pause to let the other actor speak. It is not a natural back and forth.
Yeah, that's how they used to do things.
I know that's how they used to do things, and they don't have the technology to have that conversation. You're not looking at a real video phone.
No, you could do it now.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it in 1990.
No. But yeah, that bothers me when I know that it could be done better.
I suppose.
So anyway, he puts the towel on his head, he goes out to pick up the case, and this woman is going to pick up the case first. This old woman who's just going to casually take this loose suitcase that is belonging to no one, and he fights with this old woman, and the old woman says, fuck you, asshole. In a very kind of weird way.
Weird old lady way.
There's a lot of like casual cursing here in the entire movie, and it doesn't really fit all that well.
I almost wish they hadn't said it at all because I would have enjoyed it better. Like when they make bad jokes like screw you later, that's so stupid, it's funny.
That's so good though.
But they're like, well, we're going to go for the R, so we might as well use all the fucks we can squeeze in here.
Right, and yeah, it just felt forced. It didn't need to be there.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was okay. Sometimes it felt awful, like just not necessary.
And of course, this is back in the time where you didn't get a lot of cursing in movies at all. In 1990, I can't really remember a lot of R-rated movies who curse anywhere near what they do now, but it's just done better now, I think. I don't know.
It's the difference between
it's more natural.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's we're doing it to do it, or we're doing it because this is the way people talk.
Yeah.
And this in this movie is, we're just doing it because we can say that.
Yeah, and we covered Clerks early on in the podcast, and in that movie, this is just regular dialogue that people would normally have with each other, and they just happen to be cursing.
Right.
This, it's like dialogue that was written, and then the curses were inserted into the dialogue.
We need some swearing in here, so plug some in there somewhere.
We can do it, so why not just do it?
Right.
Yeah.
But he gets away and he opens his suitcase and it's full of gadgets and gizmos.
Yeah.
And there's a video of himself telling him what to do. And there's a big money.
There's the hologram.
There's a hologram wristwatch thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool. And then there's a thing that he has to shove up his nose to get the bug out.
Yeah.
And it is like the size of a goddamn ping pong ball.
Well, yeah, that's what comes out of him.
That would not work.
No.
That wouldn't come out of your nose at all. That's not.
It's like one of those like Easter eggs.
Yes.
That has candy in it. It's about that size.
I hated it so much.
and of course
it's the weird effect again.
Well, it's the weird, the weird face of a special effect thing.
Yeah, it's not a real human head. It's a squishy claymation head.
Yeah. So he listens to the message from himself, but he has a different name in the video. His name standing there is Doug Quaid.
Yes. The character we've been following for a while is Doug Quaid, but the guy in the video is something Hauser. I don't even know if they gave him his first name.
I think they did. I honestly don't know.
Again, probably a throwaway line. It's
it doesn't
not
matter.
But he tells him, get your ass to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
Do you think that song exists because the way it's edited, because he breaks the machine when the guys show up?
Yeah.
It's just like, get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
You're saying that somebody like sampled that and put it into a song?
Yes, it's very rhythmic because it's on a little loop. So
I guess.
I imagine someone somewhere at some time has sampled that little phrase of Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, get your ass to Mars.
I've heard that line in other contexts before. I don't know what it was from, but now I do.
Now you do. But of course, the guys show up who are after him. And I just want to say this. This entire movie, these people are just like letting the gunfire rain down.
Oh, yeah.
They have no care about who or what they are shooting at. There's a lot of carnage.
Especially at a rat that apparently was all blood.
Yes.
They shot the rat that had the tracker in it, and it just explodes, and it's all blood. There's nothing else in that rat but blood.
It was 99% blood.
So Quaid takes his own advice, and he gets his ass to Mars.
He does it!
Yeah.
I don't know how or why, it doesn't matter, but he gets there in disguise!
Yeah, so I guess the disguise was in the case that he got.
I suppose.
Along with the money and other stuff.
Yeah, they don't explain it. He just shows up as a woman.
Yeah, it's this elaborate disguise where he's a giant woman who is going through customs and being asked all these questions like, how long are you going to be staying on Mars? He says 2 weeks. Then another question, have you brought any fruits or vegetables? You know, the things that you get asked at customs. And I guess the voice that was programmed is only programmed to say one answer.
No, I think the machinery just broke. The machinery crapped out on him because he was saying other words before that.
Yeah, I guess.
And then he's just like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and
then he
has to get out of the suit.
Yeah, he starts to like pull his face apart.
This is another scene I have seen elsewhere before.
Yeah,
like completely out of context. Even if it was just like on Netflix and you know how it starts playing a scene.
It is like Netflix will play a part of this scene as you are hovering over it.
Yeah.
And it is a famous scene. I have seen it outside of that context as well, where he gets found out and he like pushes a button on his ear and it basically ejects him from the head.
Yep, the head comes off, and he throws it, and it blows up.
The catch, and the head actually says, get ready for a surprise! Why would it do that? It's so weird.
It's a robot. and it's funny.
It is funny.
It's a funny robot.
Yeah, after the explosion, they find him out, he escapes, and we get introduced to the concept of, hey, all of this Mars stuff is just under a big dome. There's a bunch of domes around where people are habitating.
Yep, people just live here.
Yeah.
And, they work there and they visit there.
Yeah, so there's a big lockdown where it is, and Richter was actually Michael Ironside's character. Richter is called to Mars to meet with the big cheese, Cohagen. So he runs the entire Mars Corporation. He does all the shit. He's the big bad in this movie.
Yes.
So he goes up there and meets with him and does whatever. I don't know.
And we just basically find out there's a character that's like the leader of the resistance or something. Kawatu.
Yeah,
Kawato. Something like that. And
he's the leader of the terrorists.
He's apparently like, he wants whatever is in Quaid's head.
Yeah.
He wants the information. He can get it out of him.
Right.
So that's why this is all relevant and important.
Yeah. We also start to get introduced to other people who are on Mars. There are mutants, apparently.
Yes.
And there's a big, long story about, okay, people were brought in to start the mines, and some of the people were worked to death, and they got mutated by a lot of the different things that were happening during the mining, I guess. So,
and again, it happened so fast, I didn't even catch that. I'm glad you did.
They don't really explain a whole lot. It's like in 2 lines.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, and there's mutants, and they all have special powers.
I kind of, like, some of them are psychic.
Yeah.
And some of them have 3 boobs. You were right.
There's a chick.
Yep.
She got 3 boobs.
Yep. And I don't really think that they look all that good for what they are.
No.
They could have done better with that. Anyway, so Quaid goes to the bar because that's where he goes up to the hotel desk. He goes to the Hilton.
He checked into a hotel and he left himself a note, basically.
Right. And how he got to his safe deposit box, again, it's fingerprint technology. It's fingerprint reading technology.
Yeah.
That did not exist in 1990.
No, but it exists now. And
it absolutely exists now.
All the stuff in sci-fi, people want to make a reality.
Yeah.
That's why they come up with this crap.
I know.
And it's just a matter of time before they get it right. You know, to go back to The Simpsons, they always joke, oh, The Simpsons got it right. The Simpsons predicted the future.
Sure.
No, The Simpsons has just been around so long.
They've just thought up all these ideas so many
scenarios.
Times. Eventually, this shit is going to come true.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, it's the whole, like, what is it? 100 monkeys typing on 100 typewriters will eventually write Shakespeare.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that whole thing. Anyway, so he meets up with the brunette chick.
The gal he's been dreaming
Melina.
about. She's real.
Yeah.
And they're in love, except he doesn't remember her.
He doesn't remember, and he admits that, oh, yes, I have a wife, and she's jealous all of a sudden, and that whole dynamic is weird.
Yeah, it's all, again, kind of just, we need you to be invested in this person, even though she doesn't really have a fully developed character.
No, not really. And she doesn't really need to. She just has to be that partner by the end.
She just has to show up and be a badass once in a while.
I guess.
That's all.
Couple of times, but
they're also in love. She is both demure and sleazy. Somehow
and athletic.
They figured out the perfect woman for him.
Yes.
Because he didn't have to make her up because she's real.
Yep.
But he gets out of there. I don't really remember what happened. He just kind of leaves there and goes somewhere else. And then he's back at the hotel. And this is where it gets kind of meta.
Yeah,
and you're trying to figure out, wait, am I watching something that is real? Am I watching something that is fake? This is some Inception Matrix shit.
Yep. Are they trying to fuck with me, or is this actually happening?
Right.
So we get this guy coming to the door. He says he's a doctor and says, I'm at the recall plant.
You're still
there, and this is an emergency procedure. I am not even here. He is nonplussed by having a gun pointed at his head. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care. He's trying to explain, hey, you need to take this pill and you'll wake up back on Earth in the the recall chair.
Yeah, we're trying to help you, but you need to let go of the fantasy in order for us
and
to do that.
And he keeps on telling you all the different things that was actually happening in his life that normally you wouldn't know.
Right. And this is what I'm saying, because...
Like, the audience knows.
The audience knows, but that's the thing. If this were made, and maybe they play with this in the remake, I don't know. Is this real? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is they are planting a memory and you're an action hero.
And by the
What's
end
to
of...
say this movie isn't all a ruse?
And at the very, very end of the movie, he even says, how do I know that this is not a dream? She says, well, kiss me.
So that's why I think this is actually somewhat clever, because at this point in the movie, I was genuinely wait,
know.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Like, it's written it well enough that I was believing either road is possible.
Yes. I was having both roads go in my head the entire time.
Absolutely. So that was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just kind of stops the movie in its tracks and starts to have the audience question, oh, is this actually happening?
Have you ever questioned the existence of your reality?
Yeah.
But of course he doesn't fall for it, and the doctor is like sweating bullets, and it gives him away. He's nervous. And he just decides, nope, this isn't real. They're all fucking with me. They're just trying to catch me.
Yep. Of course, Sharon Stone shows up there too, unexplained.
Yep. So he kills the doctor.
They capture him.
The other chick shows up. They have a chick fight, and he gets loose, and then he shoots Sharon Stone, and she dies.
Yep. He shoots his wife.
Yep. And he says something like, consider this a divorce.
Yep. Yep. I've heard of that line in this movie.
This movie is chock-a-block full of him having quippy little lines right before killing people.
And that's just kind of the Schwarzenegger thing.
That's an action movie thing.
Yes.
You know, that is just the trope. But when done well, it's just like, yes,
it sticks
I'm
with you.
Here for your stupid dialogue.
I have heard so many of his lines from other people who are like diehard Schwarzenegger and Arnold fans.
Yep.
From all of their movies, and they know them by heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, and that's all endearing to me. I don't have time to watch all of these movies.
But no, he gets away. The two of them get away, and like the little henchman is about to shoot him, and he doesn't take the shot. And I was like, why the hell doesn't he take the shot? And then again, convenient dialogue. They're near the dome.
Yeah, if he shoots and misses, they're all dead.
Everybody will die. So they go back into the dome, they go back to the strip club, and they go into like an underground passage.
Yeah.
And they find the rebel scum.
Yeah, this is the Quado hideout.
Okay, so the Quado thing. So we find out there is a dude who has Quado, and they are one and the same. He is a mutant.
Just grafted onto this other dude.
There is something growing. It's like a weird attached thing. Are you familiar with when Andy Samberg did this character on Saturday Night Live?
No.
I didn't know this is what it was from. I had no context for this, but they had a running skit where he was a Quado. They called him a Quado. So like somebody was at a dinner party and they're like, oh, well, that's just my Quado. Like something's making noise. And so they like take their shirt and open it up. And there's a really pretty famous one with him and Scarlett Johansson. Okay. They're each as a Quado, and they're like weirdly making out with tongues, but as this character.
Oh my god. I absolutely need to look this up after we're done.
I did not know that's what this came from.
Oh my god.
I just remember them being these weird, deformed little bodies coming out of other cast members.
Yeah. All right.
And they're bald and terrifying and say creepy things.
All right. We'll leave it there. You can go and look it up yourself. We will do this after we're done here.
Look for the one specifically with Scarlett Johansson, but I know they did it a few times.
Okay. But this creature thing, you know what? For what they're able to do here, it looks pretty damn good.
It's disturbing.
Well, yes, but
yes,
look at
effective.
Look at the amount of like detail movement in this puppet that they're able to do. Like even the mouth moves in a weird way, and the hands move in it's a very realistic way for a creature like this.
Yeah, and it's attached to the actor.
Yeah,
and I don't know how much of it is actually him with a prosthetic.
No,
it's a full fake dude.
When the puppet is going, that is attached to a dummy.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't think that's actually the dude at all.
He closes his eyes and like the Quado takes over.
And he's extremely stiff.
Yes.
So no, that is a dummy.
And yeah, I guess Quado is like psychic or something. Like he can restore memories.
Or he's like touching him and he's like showing him the thing that will take down the...
Yeah, is he unlocking data or is he showing him? I don't know. No, but he's like, hold my hand. Hold me.
And he shows him the ancient, like, 500 million year old, mechanism. What do they call it? Artifact?
There's an artifact below the surface of the planet.
Yeah.
And
That aliens
built. And we don't know why, but it's there. And this is the key to everything.
Yeah, this is the big MacGuffin.
Yeah. But of course... Before they get to that point, the bad guys catch up to them. Uh-huh. They bust in. They kill Quado.
No, but they get betrayed by the taxi driver that we haven't even mentioned yet.
There's a lot of like double agents, triple agents in this movie.
You don't know who's working for who.
Everyone's a bad guy.
Everybody you cannot trust anybody. Betsy.
No, but upon his deathbed, Quado says, "Start the reactor."
Yeah.
And we don't know what that means other than, we have to turn a reactor on, but we don't know why.
Right. And we don't really get it explained here. I don't really remember where they talk about it. But the reactor, all it does is there's apparently a giant glacier in the center of Mars.
Yes.
And this artifact will superheat some metal and stick it into the glacier to melt it, thereby releasing a whole bunch of oxygen from this glacier that is apparently ice. That is actually water.
And they can make the whole planet habitable for humans.
Make it habitable, period.
Okay, but this is a problem I have with this movie, because this is me being over-analytical.
Yep.
If this is a device that was created 500 million years or whatever ago, why would aliens be concerned with making oxygen for a species that didn't exist on a planet they haven't discovered?
And where humans did not exist in any form whatsoever.
That's what I mean. Why would aliens...
Well, they know that oxygen
Why
creates
would aliens
life,
need
Betsy.
oxygen? If they're on Mars, they didn't need it.
But here's my point. Here's the thing that maybe this all goes together. Mars doesn't have an atmosphere. And if it has a very, very thin one, if it does at all.
And this one will just create one?
There's no fucking way this would work.
I have a lot of problems. There's a lot of conveniently left out plot holes.
All of a sudden, and this is why I think this is actually a dream.
Okay.
This is one of the big reasons why I think this is a dream.
Because it's so absurd.
It just explodes in a volcanic eruption.
Yep.
And it creates clouds and weather, and the atmosphere is holding in the oxygen, and... Are you fucking kidding me?
Here's what upset me. So right before this, there's a scene where they have isolated part of the bubble and they turn the air off.
Yes.
So the people who are in this part of the bubble are going to suffocate.
Sure.
Because they're controlling the airflow.
Yes.
So when that big explosion goes off, they've all been like lacking oxygen and dying. They all wake with a start. They're just like, oh, I'm awake now. I'm alive to pay attention to this giant explosion happening.
Yeah. And they keep on saying, I mentioned this while we were watching it. It's like, oh yeah, don't turn it on. Everybody's going to die. Well, they're not going to die from the explosion. They're going to die from all of the flying glass everywhere. There's so much broken glass in this movie.
We have discussed this trend.
This is a running theme in Never Seen It.
If there is glass, it must be smashed.
It must be broken.
It must be broken. But yeah, so they get betrayed, they get captured. They get betrayed, they get captured. This kind of happens a lot, this movie.
We get the big revelation that, oh, Quaid, you're actually working for me. All of this stuff that's been happening is by my design.
You volunteered for the assignment, but now we're going to let you live and we're going to just recall you again.
Yeah.
And you're going to be back to just being yourself, and she's going to be your demure little woman.
Yep.
And everybody's going to be happy, but instead, he fights it off and, rips off an arm thing and stabs a dude in the neck.
Yep.
There's a lot of really signature Paul Verhoeven violence in this.
I love the improvised weaponry that he uses in all of his movies.
Stabbing guys through the skull,
Yep.
things that would never penetrate a human under normal circumstances.
Well, he got it in the soft palate, Betsy.
Oh, of course.
And it goes all the way through the skull.
I don't even know what it was he was holding.
I have no idea. Some like medical device.
He just found something, and all of a sudden it was through a guy's skull.
Right.
And
it was only on screen for like half a second.
And they make a heroic escape, and then they're like, oh, I have to start the reactor because this is what it does. I clearly know all this information because the guy gave it. I unlocked it.
And I know exactly where it is and how to turn it on and blah, blah, blah. So they escape, they go down into the caves again, and here's our taxi driver showing up again, driving one of the drills, and is going to try to crush them.
That's right. Because why not?
I mean, what else do you got down there? So, yeah, he drives up into them, and Quaid grabs this, like, I don't know what the hell you call it.
A space drill? A jackhammer?
It's some kind of drill, and he's trying to drill into one of the oil lines to try to stop the machinery. Meanwhile, while this is happening, they both get kind of fucked up. Like, they get
it's like
caught.
chewing up.
They get caught in like the stuff.
Yeah, the mechanics, the works.
Yeah, but he's successful in poking it, and it starts to malfunction. And here's where we get the line.
Yeah,
that you mentioned before. He's drilling into.
They get out. He comes around to the side, and he drills a hole into the door, and he says, hey, screw you!
Yeah, and he
says screw you.
He plunges the drill screw thing right into him, and we don't actually see what happens, thankfully.
Yeah, there's just a lot of screaming, and you know, he's dead.
They do a lot of really good Foley work here.
There's a lot of sound effects.
Like meat getting ground up.
Yeah.
It's real bad. But yeah, after that, they get down into where the mechanism is, the artifact, whatever the fuck. And here's where a bunch of dudes keep on showing up. How many dudes do they have to chew through?
They're also deep underground. How did you all get here?
So many dudes.
Yeah.
That just are fodder.
Henchmen.
Yeah.
And they all get blasted by machine gun fire.
Yeah,
repeatedly.
This is where they use the hologram to great effect. It was really
funny.
good. It was really funny.
Yep.
And for a thing,
they all fall for it.
Yeah, they all fall for it, and she even gets in on the fun too. But they get through all the different henchmen, and Quaid gets up on the elevator. He's gonna go up to activate the artifact. And Richter meets him up there, and they have their little fight, and they're just going back and forth as they're climbing the elevator and blah, blah, blah. And Richter is hanging off of the elevator, and we look up and see if he doesn't actually get up, he is going to be, let's just say, mangled.
Crushed,
whatever. And yeah... his arms are gone.
They elevator his arms off.
Yeah.
And he falls, and Arnold has his arms.
Arnold has his arms and says another quippy line saying, "I'll see you at the party."
Yeah.
I've heard that line before, too.
Oh, no. Apparently you know this movie really well, not having realized you knew this.
I just know a bunch of his stupid lines from a bunch of different movies.
Apparently. I hadn't heard that one, but yeah, it's corny and stupid, and it made me laugh.
And he just throws the arms down there.
Yeah, just, here you go, bye.
Yeah, so he gets up there, gets to the artifact, And Cohagen is there waiting for him because of course he is.
Yep.
The big bad has to be there to confront the good guy.
Yeah. How did he get here? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Not important.
Doesn't matter.
But he's there. He's gonna stop you. He is not successful. He has brought a bomb with him.
Yep.
Which, catalyzes all the rest of the events because it blows a hole in their dome.
Which, by the way, I just complimented them on their Foley work. That thing was just an alarm clock.
It was a cardboard box with an alarm clock inside.
Seriously, that sound that came out of that sounded like an alarm clock sound. Yeah, seriously. Oh, shit.
But, yeah, they blow some shit up. They put the artifact into play. Everybody gets blasted out into the atmosphere where there is no oxygen.
Uh-huh.
And
no, yeah.
The three of them are just writhing, and this goes on for so long.
Oh, Betsy, so many of these sequences go on for way, way too long. Especially with the airlock stuff.
Yes.
The first time it happens in the customs area, it goes on forever. The gunfights go on for way too long.
Everything is excessive.
This sequence of them hanging on for dear life as they're getting sucked out into Mars goes on for way too long.
Yep.
Like, this movie could have been at least 15 minutes shorter.
This is like a solid 80-minute movie that they stretched into nearly 2 hours.
I don't know about that.
If they had been really adept, we could have got a cool 90 minutes at least.
But you're missing out on so much camp.
That's why they milk it for all it's worth.
I realize that.
They blast him out, and the bad guy goes out first, and there's no oxygen, and so instead of just suffocating, his eyeballs pop out of his head, and his tongue is swollen, and his whole body is expanding.
Mars.
Mars. And then Arnold and his lady friend get sucked out. And
the same shit happens to them to a point.
But because they're gonna, survive, they keep cutting back and forth between them and then the oxygen, getting into the atmosphere.
Right.
And then they're just fine. I'm sorry, but if your eyeballs were bulging out of your head, you would suffer permanent damage.
You would not be fine whatsoever.
You would not be fine.
A little bit of oxygen in the air that just is erupting from this mountain next to you will not help this.
No, those got to be pushed back in, surgically attached back where they belong.
Yes.
You will be permanently messed up after something like that.
And added on to all of the things that already happened to Arnold throughout this entire sequence.
Oh, yeah. He's just he's absolutely invincible in this movie. He gets kicked in the nuts 3 times. He gets slashed by a knife.
Yep.
He gets punched in the face, and he just keeps getting up and moving.
He gets ground up by
shot.
he gets ground up by that mining equipment.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude is fucked up, but then, he still gets the girl and has the kiss. And then credits.
But at the end, they say, he says, well, what if this is a dream?
Yeah, I mentioned that. And what if this is all a dream? Kiss me before it ends.
And then it's over.
And then credits.
So it's the spinning top in Inception. It's like, what if this is a dream?
I believe it is. I believe it is.
I think there's probably 2 camps of people out here who believe that this is just an action movie that's clever and layered. And then there's the people that fundamentally believe the story of he is the normal guy. And at the beginning, he does go in and this is all his dream.
He has a normal ass life, married to this hot blonde. And it's the future, and he is dreaming of a bigger life on Mars where all the action's happening. Nothing is happening to him where he is. He goes to work, he comes home, and
that's his life.
His wife works out to tennis tapes. I don't know.
Right. Well, and who even knows if that's real? Because that was in the part that was the fantasy.
Yeah, you're right.
Potentially.
You're right. No, your wife is just home in negligee the entire time.
Maybe.
Dude, your life is pretty cool.
I don't know, man. But again, we had I've talked about the femme fatale. She's the femme fatale in this again. The blonde and the brunette, and
I guess.
Yeah, so this one is very Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
This is cheesy and absurd, and there's a ton of plot holes that are casually just overlooked.
Oh, sure.
Or
And-
throwaway lines to
and
just explain it to you.
I knew we were going to get a lot of that, especially because we're dealing with, we don't know the nature of reality here.
Right. I am left with two questions. One is that, like,
Yeah.
where
Did
do
this
you
actually
stand?
happen?
Did this actually happen? And two, what's the remake like?
Yeah.
Because this was remade in the time where we were making gritty reboots of everything.
Yep.
So is this remake deadly serious?
Does it keep any of the camp?
Or is it camp? Because here's the thing, and I've talked about this before, Colin Farrell is really funny.
He can be.
He can be very funny. So if you made a movie like this with Colin Farrell, you could get some of that humor. It would be different because it's his humor, not
Sure.
Arnold.
And he's not like a big beefy dude who is going to
No.
be throwing people around like crazy.
He's more like winky, like cheeky funny.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, is this remake completely missing the spirit?
Or is it, yeah, like you said, is it deadly serious? Because you could take out the camp, you could take out the weird, like, gushy bits and totally turn this into like a dark kind of a drama.
You could, and maybe that's amazing. Maybe they do
Yeah.
it that way and it executes it. I would watch that.
And like, what is the tone of the short story of the Phillip K Dick thing?
I
I have
know.
no idea.
So it kind of makes me, now that I've seen this, want to go and watch the remake.
But Betsy, do you really want to go and watch the remake when you could go and play the Nintendo game that they advertised at the end
God.
of the movie?
Could somebody get their hands on that for us?
1990, they're advertising a fucking Nintendo game at the end of the credits, right after they say, hey, soundtrack available on this record label.
You make a valid point,
and they
Trent.
say, also read the novelization of the movie by this, they don't actually say the author, but it's with this book company.
I just think it's amazing that this entire subgenre of literature exists and people have made shitloads of money
The
doing it.
novelizations of movies.
There are guys, there's like one guy in particular who has done thousands of them.
Yeah.
Like, not even like a joke, like literally hundreds or 1,000 of these movies. He just cranks them out. And it's just, okay, so we have this movie and we want you to turn it into a book.
Yep.
And it's those paperback things you saw as kids where
Yep.
they had the cover of the movie, but the content is not like the book that it got adapted from. It is
No.
the adaptation of the movie into book form.
Yes. It's reverse form of that.
This is just a fascinating genre of literature.
Yes.
And I want to know who has like the most copies. Where are they? What's the cream of the crop? I want this book in my hands. I want to know how trash it is or how amazing a read it is. Because this is like the crap you read at the airport when you're just like brushing through your day
Yeah.
and looking for something to pass the time. This is not heavy-hitting novelization. But if you approach it that way, it could be.
Who knows? It might have a completely different tone. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Maybe they take into consideration the source material and say, what the fuck, Paul Verhoeven? Why did you make this movie? This other thing is much, much better. I'm going to make this better novel over here. Your fucked up movie can just stay by itself.
And I'll be all fucked up.
Yeah. But I will say, apparently that Nintendo game, total trash.
Of course, because they probably cranked it out in 6 months like
yeah.
the E.T. game.
Oh, yeah. I've never played it, of course, but I understand it is not very good.
I would believe there are 24 other tie-in games that we've never heard of
Oh, yeah.
for this system in particular.
Oh, yeah. They were cranking them out like crazy because...
They used the skeleton of something else and just like put a different skin over the top of it.
Yep.
And it's like, look, it's the Total Recall video game.
But you know what, Betsy? The phenomenon of toy companies and video game companies and all these other companies who are making other media around a rated fucking R movie is just beyond me. It doesn't really happen anymore, but back in the 80s and 90s, fuck yeah, you got RoboCop action figures. Fuck yeah, you got Terminator action figures and all that shit. Like, all that stuff was marketed like crazy to children based on rated R content. And this content I'm talking about is very rated R.
There's one word for that, Trent. Merchandising. Merchandising.
Yes.
You gotta get that cheese.
But you normally don't do that with this kind of stuff.
It is rare. Certainly now.
You don't do it anymore.
It was a lot more common in the 80s and 90s.
You don't market movies like this to children anymore.
No.
You just don't. The most recent movie I can say that would have any kind of connection to kids, or at least an immature mentality, was the Deadpool movies. Because
it was towing the line, yeah.
Betsy and I went to go and see the original Deadpool in the theater when it was brand new. And like 2 or 3 rows in front of us was a father and about, 10 years old, maybe? 10 to 12,
10
let's
if
say.
we were very lucky.
In the movie theater with his father. What are you doing, dude?
Watching
Deadpool. What the fuck? Why did you do that?
Some people don't care. Some parents are just super chill.
I know.
They have no line. And we've talked about it before. I was in the 5th grade, so about this age, when I saw my first rated R movie. But it was a different kind of rated R. It's like you can go down the road of the sexy movie, you can go down the road of the violent movie, or you can go down the road of the really funny, comedic, violent, over-the-top movie.
Very cursy movie.
Cursy movie, yeah.
But that my point stands. Like, you don't do that anymore.
No.
But just some final thoughts here from me anyway. I enjoyed this movie. I think I am very curious to see the remake. At least see a trailer for it, because
to see the vibe.
I want to see what are they choosing to pull out from the movie, and what are they trying to reinterpret for a modern age?
Yeah.
Because again, technology in 1990 is very, very different from what they're able to do in modern times. I don't remember when that came out.
20 teens, probably?
Something like that. 2012, 2013.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. So just their new interpretation of old stuff.
Yeah.
So
in an era where the stuff that we were talking about, the technology, actually exists in some capacity.
Right. Isn't that weird? Oh, it's so weird.
So
I love that.
Maybe
shit.
we'll get to that one someday.
Maybe. But before we get out of here, we do want to read an email. Of course, it is from Stephanie.
Superfan Stephanie. Went to go see the Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness. This is, of course, after they had rented the No Way Home, because you got to see No Way Home before then. But, of course, spoilers for all Marvel stuff in general. So if you haven't seen Multiverse, apparently it's coming out on Disney Plus this month. So you got no excuse. But don't listen to this part if you don't want to be spoiled.
Indeed. So she says, we saw the new Doctor Strange movie this weekend. We loved it. I loved Wanda as a villain, and she was so good. I did not know Sam Raimi directed this until the credits. And so when his name popped up, I said, well, that explains all the horror references.
Yes, she's a fan.
My husband, who does not know directors, said, well, it is a Scarlet Witch movie. She always has a lot of horror imagery in the comics. So Sam Raimi was the perfect match. I clocked nods to The Ring, Carrie, Evil Dead, and Drag Me to Hell. There were probably more, and I loved it all. I've only seen one of those. I've only ever seen The Ring.
Right.
Once.
And I get which reference she's talking about. I think we even brought it up in the episode. When she escapes the mirror dimension through the gong.
Right.
It's creepy Ring shit. She's like crawling out of the TV.
And she's all contorted and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And no, I hadn't seen any of those other ones. I'd never seen Evil Dead. I know what Carrie is. Drag Me to Hell I've heard of. But yeah, we're not really into the scary movies.
Or even, like the old horror movies, which
Just
aren't
horror in
even
general.
necessarily that scary.
No.
Because it's all the stuff you don't see. It's that kind of mindfuckery.
Yeah. Anyway, to finish up here, there were several convenient loopholes to make this movie work, but I didn't even care because I just thought it looked good overall. The only time I rolled my eyes was at the end when Doctor Strange just gives America a pep talk and that all she needed was confidence. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logic.
It was a little bit too contrived for me. I didn't really like that. It was weird.
You gotta button it up somehow.
But, I was just gonna say, how else do you end that movie? You have to show her at the training facility. You have to show her she is still a character in this thing, and they're going to have a relationship.
Yep.
So, again, I maintain my point that Doctor Strange replacing his pining for Rachel McAdams for his, I guess, more of a parental love or a mentorship, kind of a relationship with America, this new character, than anything else. So he's channeling that energy over there. So that's my point there. And the last thing she says was, I actually love the music fight. And that was probably one of the more unique things I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
was really cool. But yes, thank you very much, Stephanie, for the email. Anytime you email us, I always get a nice smile on my face because, hey, it's a new email from Stephanie. I get to read it.
Yes, you do.
So you also can email us and put a smile on my and Betsy's face.
Other people that are not Stephanie.
Please email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Go and listen to some old episodes and tell us what your thoughts are about Triple X. Tell us what your thoughts are about
Midsummer.
Tell us what your thoughts are about Showgirls.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Or why would you watch Showgirls? I don't even know why I watched Showgirls.
We did it for the series.
Whatever.
We're gonna have to find 4 new smutty movies.
Email
us about your favorite smutty movies that we didn't actually cover.
Email us.
Email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. I will say it again for all you people who do not have it. You can also follow us on the Twitter stuff. neverseenit_pod on Twitter. You can also support the show monetarily. That means money. By clicking the link in the podcast description. By throwing us a buck on Anchor. You can figure it out from there.
You can rank us and like us and share us and talk about us with your friends.
Or your family or whoever else that is on your socials.
Yeah.
You probably have coworkers that you can subject us to.
Absolutely.
Or, if you happen to have one of those cool offices, if you actually work in an office these days.
People do still do that.
Put our podcast up in your office speakers or just turn us on at your desk. And just listen to us out loud.
Our not safe for work podcast.
At full volume. Our very not safe for work podcast. Do it anyway.
Do all of those things.
Go and get yourself a better job anyway. You'll be happier for it. Betsy just did. Also email us and congratulate Betsy on her new job. Anyway, that is the end of the show for today. We will be back with another episode of some other random movie we haven't seen. This has been Never Seen It. My name is Trent.
And my name is Betsy.
And we will catch you next time.
Bye.